to my channel. Today I have another read aloud lesson plan for you to share with your class. Today we're going to be talking about the book Our Favorite Day of the Year. And this is one of my new favorite books. If you're new here, my name is Sarah. I show up on this channel every week to share read aloud tips and book ideas for your classroom. I've also been sharing throughout the summer picture book lesson ideas that you can use for read alouds in your classroom. And we talk about social emotional learning, we've had some back to school stories, as well as books that you can use throughout the year. If that sounds like something you're interested in, give this video a thumbs up and hit that red subscribe button down below. As I mentioned before, we're going to be using the book Our Favorite Day of the Year. So often in our classrooms, we celebrate Halloween or Christmas, Easter comes up sometimes, but there are a lot of other holidays or special days throughout the year that our students celebrate that might not be as popular, but are so special to them. So it's important that we learn about our students and the things that are important and what they celebrate with their own families. We can learn so much from them as we can from each other. So in this story, Our Favorite Day of the Year, it's the first day of school, and the teacher explains that it's her favorite day of the year. I know as teachers, we all get excited and maybe a little nervous about that first day of school. And she talks about how it's her favorite day of the year, and she loves to celebrate it every year with her brand new set of students. And then she goes on to tell them that each one of them is going to share their favorite day of the year. And as a class, they're going to learn about these holidays and they're going to celebrate with each other on these special days. So as we go through the story, we learn about a variety of different holidays and all sorts of traditions that we normally see celebrated in children's picture books. This book really gives a rich look at cultural, religious, and racial diversity. And you'll see that throughout the words and the illustrations in this story. So before we start the book, I keep my lesson plan handy, and we talk about building our students' background knowledge and setting the purpose for reading the book. We activate that background knowledge by asking students, what is a holiday? Why do we celebrate them? We can ask students what their favorite day of the year is and what they do on that day. Then I have them look at the cover of the book and point out anything that they notice about the illustration or the title of the book. Then I set the purpose for reading. I explain that today we're going to read a story about some classmates, and they're going to be talking about their favorite day of the year, and we're going to learn how they celebrate. As we go through the book, we have rich discussions throughout the pages about the different holidays that are discussed. One thing that I found tricky about this book is there are a lot of holidays and vocabulary words that are specific to those holidays, important terms. But I didn't know how to pronounce them, and there's not a pronunciation guide in this book. So I went through, and on the post-it notes, I gave pronunciations for each term so that I knew I was pronouncing it correctly, and then my students would be able to pronounce it correctly as well, because I know how important that is. I always print out the discussion questions and vocabulary on post-it notes ahead of time, and I can stick them on the correct pages in the book so that I don't read a page and then forget the talking points for that page. But you can also print them out on a full sheet of paper and have them all in one place as well. And as we go through the story, we talk about how we can celebrate the differences and how exciting it is to learn about a different culture, about different holidays that people celebrate and why they are so special. And through this discussion, students really learn how to appreciate and learn from each other and how they can learn from their classmates. And in this story, it talks specifically about 4 students. There's 4 friends in the class. So we have a discussion about what these friends learn from each other. And once we've had these discussions, I like to do some engaging activities to help students pull what we learned from the story and from our discussions and almost put them into action in real life. So I'll start out with a written response, and it'll go along with the discussion we had, and we talk about what did each of the students learn from each other in this book. It's a quick stop jot that students can share what they learned from the story or from our discussion. We then go into sharing each other's favorite days in the classroom. So we pull out this activity sheet, and on this activity sheet, students are going to write out what their favorite day of the year is. And they're going to talk about and draw a picture of their 3 favorite things to do on this day. So as an example, my favorite holiday is the 4th of July, and I drew pictures about how I like to go to the beach. I like to watch the fireworks, and I love to have a picnic on the 4th of July. That's my favorite day of the year and how I like to celebrate. So this is a fun activity to do with students and gives them the ability to share with each other what their favorite day is and how they celebrate it or who they celebrate it with. And you can even have students, if they want, go around and share with each other what their favorite days are. Do they have any of the same favorite days, or what can they learn from other students about different favorite days? And then to take it a step further, you can make this Craftivity booklet with students about their favorite day of the year. So they can pick the template that they like and turn it into this booklet that is all about their favorite day. So on each page, they're gonna write something different. Who they celebrate with, the food that they eat on that day, or the clothing that they wear. Do they get dressed up? Is it just normal everyday wear? For the 4th of July, I put my bathing suit on because we go to the beach. So another way to really have students celebrate and share what their favorite day is. And the last thing that I like to do with students is to pull out task cards that relate to the story that we read and what we learned about. So these task cards either have deep thinking questions on them or real life scenarios that students can respond to. And there's a multitude of different ways that you can do these. You can discuss these questions as a whole group. You can break off into small groups to discuss them. Students can even interact with each other in partners to answer the questions. Or you could have them do it individually and write their answers down on a sheet of paper. But again, this talks about their favorite day, and ask them what their favorite part of their favorite day is, or if they could change anything about their favorite day, what would it be? And there's a bunch of different task cards that help students really think about what makes this day special to them and to their family or friends or whoever they celebrate with. So our favorite day of the year is a wonderful read aloud to share with your students, whether it's during that first month of school or anytime throughout the year. And that's a great starting point for discussions and learning about each other within the classroom and what is special to each person. So everything that I shared with you today, from the post-it note discussion questions and the task cards, as well as the Craftivity template and the activity sheets, all of that can be downloaded for free. I'll leave a link in the description box down below where you can grab it. And all you need to do, you can just check this book out of the library. It's also available on Amazon as well. And then you can share it with your class. You'll have everything all set to go. I hope that you'll get a chance this school year to share this with your students, because I think it's a really important book and your students will really enjoy it. Have a great week.